And welcome back, everybody, to the channel. Lucas Johnson back with another episode of this MLB Show 22 Custom League. And we are into August now, and September call-ups coming up soon. But before we kind of get to September calls, we have this month here to go through. And we aren't actually going to be going into a game with Adam Wainwright here in this episode. We will showcase his last start of the season, as it will be his final start of his career. But I just wanted to look at his numbers this season. He has been amazing for Houston here. His only year with this team, but his last year of his career right now is going really well. Has only got 50 walks, 75 strikeouts, a 2.53 ERA, and a 1.15 WHIP this season. So he has been pitching really, really good, well. And of course, we will showcase his final career start in this season here at the end of the year. But we are going to hop into a critical situation here between these two teams. As, Houston is right now, they're still trying to fight for playoff positioning. And, they're kind of sitting outside looking into the wildcard race at the moment. They might actually be in a wildcard position. And Mexico City is in first place in this division, or in their division. I think these two teams are they're in the same division here. But Jose Barrios, over 100 pitches already, but has been pitching incredibly well in this game and has a complete game shutout going right now. Here as we go in late, that's a diving play. What a stop, and a throw across to first base is in time. Great play there by Jonathan Scope, who is this team's shortstop in this game. And yeah, fantastic diving play. Gets up and throws it across there for the out. Kyle Schwarber there hitting his 200th career home run. In the news tab there on the ticker down below, that's cool to see that. And then the Barons have really close to the Heidi There's only a game back from them right now. Sal Frelick up here. And Jose Barrios, man, he has had an awesome season for Houston. I mean, he is one of the better pitchers in the league right now. His numbers are awesome, as that is a swing and a miss and a strikeout for him. I'm not sure how many he has total in this game, but this is a great pitch sequence here. I mean, just nothing to hit out of those three sinkers, all down below the zone, all actually outside of the strike zone. Just fantastic pitches right there. And now Andrew Benintendi up here with 2 outs. It's a ground ball over to second base, and an easy play there to get the throw over to first to end the game and complete the shutout for Jose Barrios, who pitched a lot of pitches in that game. Pitched, over 120 pitches in that start. So you don't see a lot of starters go that long in starts, at this point in the majors in real life. But Mexico City only 2 hits all game long. Houston got a run in the first inning, Alex Bregman home run to his 23rd of the year. They didn't get any runs after that, but they didn't need to get any runs after that home run there. And yeah, I mean, I think their lineup, Houston is a team that has a good offense right now. Bregman, Freeman is batting .313. Rafael Devers is a MVP candidate right now, batting almost 300. Martinez has been hitting the ball really well. The bottom of their lineup is not doing that great. I mean, Garcia there, 210 batting average. McCann, 227, and Yastrzemski as well. But the top of their batting order is really good. Jose Barrios has been awesome this season. A complete game shutout there. 9 hit innings, 2 hits, 2 walks, 10 strikeouts. And right now has a 2.71 ERA, 12 wins on the season. And Anderson and Frelick, the only guys to get hits for Mexico City, who has a strong offense. And there's a lot of guys, making spot starts in this game. Not some starters sitting out in this one for them. But they have a good offense. Their pitching is also really solid. Jordan Amamoto is their number 5 guy, and he's not been that good this season. A really good start in this game, actually, but gets his 13th loss of the year. That ERA is still over 6, even after that good start. Her and their 2.2 scoreless innings. But, that's Team Mexico City, they're going to be factoring into that playoff conversation, and they have a championship caliber roster right now. So we have another critical situation to hop into here. We're in the top of the 8th inning. The Columbus Cardinals are leading the Salt Lake City Beast here 3-0. Hunter Green on the mound for Columbus here, that's a ground ball, stopped by Duffy, he goes and steps on the bag, and throw to first is not going to be in time. So they do not get the double play there, just beating it out. And Max Scherzer there is in the Cy Young conversation. He had a great start down there on the ticker, but Salt Lake does score a run with that ground ball. So they are on the board here against Hunter Green, who has been very, very good this season, and is a guy that is really in that Rookie of the Year conversation. I don't think there's really a lot of competition with him right now in the National League, as that is, oh, and I did see his safe there, stealing a base. Actually, Hunter Green is not a rookie technically this year. He has 65 innings last season, but he's in the Cy Young conversation right now also. So he has just been incredible this year. And, you know, Jack Leiter probably is going to be Rookie of the Year in the American League, or in the National League this season here as a pitcher. But Hunter Green has just been lights out. As that is inside for a ball. So 2 on here, 2 outs in the inning, and yeah, Hunter Green just needs to get one more. But with that walk, let's see what they do here. Roy Mateo is pinch running now at second base, apparently. But that walk is going to actually be the end of the game here for Hunter Green. They're going to go to their bullpen and take him out, and I think they got a good bullpen here in Columbus. But a great start for Hunter Green. You know, goes deep into this game. 7.2 innings, is responsible for the 2 base runners on right now. And up is Drew Pomeranz, so they're going to bring him out for a longer save attempt here. 42 innings for him this year. 35 saves, 2.36 ERA. He's been a really solid closer this season. CJ Cron is up here. He's going to drop that one, though, into right field, and Mateo is going to score from second base. So CJ Cron will get Salt Lake on the board again here in the 8th inning, and that run is going to be charged to Hunter Green here, as it is a 1-run game now, as you see that swing and that ball dropping into the outfield. So they're going to put another pinch runner on here, kind of emptying out the bench to get some speed on the base pass here. And Nick Madrigal is at the plate, and he's not had a great season, but 2 for 3 in this game. He has been kind of hot recently. That average is over 200 for him now. So here we go. Let's see what he does. 1-0 pitch is a line drive. Rosarena can't catch it. It bounces off of his glove, and we are tied. Nick Madrigal getting a ball into the outfield, and I thought Rosarena was going to be able to catch this one. Not a bad pitch by Pomeranz there, but it just drops in, and let's see one more look at this and how close it was. It just lands in front of Randy there and then bounces off of his glove. That was a really close play right there in the outfield. Almost got it, and if he dove for it, maybe he would have been able to get it there, but now we're tied up. And here's Elias Diaz. We saw him have a pretty big game in the last episode. 13 home runs from 22 RBIs. 239 average is over 2 in this ball game here. As Pomeranz gets the sign through that fastball last pitch. The 1-0 is another fastball. This one right down the middle. And Diaz launches into left and gone. A long no-doubter from Elias Diaz. His 14th of the year, 3-run shot, and Salt Lake puts up 6 here in the 8th inning, and they have taken the lead. Wow, Elias Diaz, man, we've seen him have a couple of big home runs. He had a 2-homer game last episode, I believe, that we showed, and last time that we showed the Beast, he had a 2-home run ball game, and he launches that one for a 3-run shot. And yeah, that 4-seam fastball there does catch just too much of the plate. Yeah, and it was the last time that we saw the Beast, was last episode. Diaz had a big game there, and he just crushes that baseball. 422 on the distance there into left field. And a big inning for Salt Lake City. And against a guy in Drew Pomeranz who does not give up a lot of balls like that, does not give up a lot of home runs. And he gives up a big one there. So that is going to end the inning, but damage done for Salt Lake City. They get 6 runs in that frame, 3 of them. The lead here coming off of that bomb by Elias Diaz. So we are in the bottom of the 8th now, and Scott Barlow is out there. He's got a .350 average against righties this season and over 6 ERA. I don't know if he's actually this team's setup man. I don't think he is, or maybe I just haven't taken him out of that role. He was really good last year, but this year he has really struggled on the mound this season. I mean, this team's bullpen is definitely a weak spot for them, as that was a line drive caught by Magical there, and now the count is going to run full here on Randy Arozarena. Harold Ramirez is on deck right now. So full count to Randy, and that slider misses by quite a bit. Not really a competitive pitch right there, and so Barlow will walk him here. Harold Ramirez is coming up now, 685 OPS for him. He was injured at some point of this season, and he's been kind of a backup utility guy for Columbus this season after leading the team in RBIs last year. As that one bounces off of Barlow, I don't know why they didn't have me control Scott Barlow there. I don't think it really would have mattered. That is going to be an infield hit for Harold Ramirez, which actually might help to your advantage because, you know, probably Randy would have gotten the third if that got into the outfield. But now Esteban Torres, he's going to swing through that pitch there. And he's been good this season, 749 OPS, 12 home runs for him on the year. He's got 2 strikes against him now, and he swings and misses at a slider outside of the zone. And that's not a good pitch there to be going after. And Scott Barlow gets a key strikeout there. So, yeah, misses that slider on the 0-1. You know, the 0-1 pitch there. The second pitch was very hittable, and then swings at that one. So now it's Yuli Gurriel, and he's going to have to come through with a base hit right here. Gets a strike there on the bottom of the zone, a 282 average for him and a 760 OPS this season. As he's got to come through right now, 1-1 pitch. And it's a ground ball, but Stefanik has it at first base. Stops that one and touches the bag. So Gina Cone is actually maybe DHing in this game. But that is a big 0 right there. Scott Barlow does hold the lead for Columbus. Or for Salt Lake, I mean. So now we're in the bottom of the 9th. And here's Tyler Rogers, definitely the best reliever on this team this season. 31 out of 33 in his save attempts this season. He's been good for this team out of the pen this year. As Corbin Carroll is up now, and he fouls that pitch back. And the count 2-2 to him now, over 3 on the day. And he is going to swing and miss. Slider there inside, part of the play. That was a really good pitch by Taylor Rogers right there. And there is a big out, number 1 here in the 9th inning. So now it's Shea Langoliers, and 236 batting average, and he's raised that average a little bit, raised the OPS since he was called back up to the majors, as he's going to get a base hit now here into the right side of the field there. Lazaro Monteros is in right field, and he is a rookie, and so he was called up pretty recently for the Bees there in their outfield, but a big swing by Langoliers, and he's on base, so, you know, you have some base runners now back up to the top of the order for Brooke Schnell, who has been very good since he's been called up. He's been doing exactly what Columbus wants him to do and get on base a lot. That's a fly ball, and that one's going to land in front of Acuna, so, yeah, not a chance for Acuna to really get that. 2 runners on here, and Matt Duffy all of a sudden is the tying run at the plate now. And now it's a 3-1 count to him, so Rogers is having some control issues here, and this 9th inning started out really well for him with the strikeout, but now it is kind of going sideways on him, so he's got to bring it back in here. Big pitch to Duffy, fly ball into right field, and Darmonteros on the move here. He's got it in his tracks at 37 speed, no tag up from second base by Shea Langoliers, so that is an unproductive out right there and a missed opportunity. And now, right out in front of the plate, this is going to be a tough play with a speedy Turner, and Diaz cannot make it. So that is an infield single for Trey Turner. And now the bases are loaded here, so the tying run is on first there, and in the form of a really speedy guy, you get a ball into the gap here, and he should be able to score on it. So Here we go. Randy Arozarena with the bases loaded. He's the winning run at the plate here. And he fouls that four-seamer back there at 84. 216 average for him this year with runners in scoring position. 1-2 pitch. That slider is low. So it count moves to 2-2. 32nd pitch of the inning for Rogers here. 2-2 pitch. It's there in the bottom of the strike zone. A fastball. 4 strike 3, and the game is over. A little bit of a shaky save by Rogers, but it is a save indeed, and he gets the save there, and the Bees win here against Columbus 6-3 with that monster 8th inning for them in this game. And, man, good come-from-behind win for the Bees, who, again, you know, they traded some of their stars at the deadline, including Teoscar Hernandez and Miles Michaelis. But they've got a win here in this game. They won last episode that we saw them, and so, you know, maybe they're just a hot streak away from putting themselves back into conversation about with this division right now for them. They really, I don't know if they're going to be able to have, you know, enough to be able to get into the wildcard game. They might need to win the division to get to the playoffs. We'll see here, but Taylor Rogers, 32nd save of the season for him there, and yeah, Columbus had a chance in that 9th inning to come back, and they could not do it. So Salt Lake City, Amateros has been called up recently, only batting 176 right now. Joey Wendell got an RBI in this game. CJ Crone was 2 for 4 with a ribby. And Nick Magical, 3 for 4, an RBI in this one. Diaz had that home run. The average is up to 243 for him this season. Miguel Andújar, 243, Stewart, 212. So still not a lot of high averages on this offense right now. And you see CJ Crone with 54 RBIs, but all those other guys, you know, the average of the RBI totals for them are fairly low right now. But yeah, you know, a big win for Salt Lake City, and they're trying to have, I think they've had a better second half than they had in the first half of the season. And Jack Leiter, a pretty good start for him. 5 innings and 7 hits, only 3 runs allowed. The ERA is in a good spot for him right now at 3.29. And the bullpen in this game was really good. And, you know, I mean, those ERAs are not very good. Like Reyes, 6.35, 4.78 for Choleric. Barlow lowered it to 5.81. Rogers, 3 hits in this outing for him in that save attempt. But, yeah, the bullpen, you know, the ERAs are not very good there, and not going to give you a lot of confidence, really, but they did a really great job in this game. And for Columbus, a lot of guys with hits here, a lot of guys with multiple hits, actually. Brooks Schnell batting 338 right now. That's really good to see from him. Randy Arozarena had a home run. And this team, you know, the power is one thing that this team kind of does lack. If they have a weakness right now, it is in that department with the power. They don't have a lot of guys. You know, Randy Arozarena and Trey Turner are their 2 sources of power right now. And Randy Arozarena, I think, leads the team with 16 homers right now. And Green, 7.2 innings, and does get charged 3 runs because of the 3 that he, you know, couple base runners that he had in the 8th inning there. But the ERA, 2.85 for him. Good spot there. Pomerantz did not do a great job in this outing. His ERA goes to 2.98. And then Brazier pitched a scoreless 9th inning in this game. His ERA is really good, really low, 1.11 right now. So we come out of that game, and we have an injury update here, and this is a big one, and this is an unfortunate one, honestly, because Nick Gonzalez just got hurt for the Vipers, and we've showed him a couple of times in recent episodes, you know, called up after the All-Star game, basically, and he is going to be done for the rest of the season. And he was hitting the ball really well. I mean, I liked what we were seeing from him. You know, and so that is a really unfortunate injury. And this team, you know, they have a couple of big injuries here. Brian Buxton, he got injured. I don't know if I showed that in the recording or anything. But he did get injured, and he's going to be done for the rest of the season, it looks like. And I don't know. I think, you know, this is obviously a terrible year by Buxton. And so I think, you know, you just hope that he can move on and he can play a little bit like he did in 2022. And really wipe this season off of his, you know, just mind, and then just go into next year. Because he is a 90 overall player. Like, He's got really great ratings, even though he's been taking in those this season. He's a better hitter than that, and he's a guy that if he does return to his usual production, he could be a good trade piece for the Vipers in a year or two. But there's Nick Gonzalez, 246 average. I think it was going down a little bit in recent games, but at 763 OPS, 3 home runs, 15 hits, and 61 at bats. He had a double-digit hitting streak going for a little bit there. And he had some decent development. +4 to discipline is really good there, but a lot of +2s and +1s for him. But that is just unfortunate that his season ended like that. And DJ LeMahieu is now back into a starting lineup role for this team, I think now. Their offense is just really bad, and they just lost a guy that, a young guy that was promising, that was contributing a lot to this offense here. And because of that injury there, we're going to call back, Neil Cruz back up to the majors, who we called down because he was struggling so poorly this season. He only had 37 at-bats in AAA. He was doing good there, but not a lot of AAA time for him. But he's back up to the majors. And let's see, there's the look at that division there in the, I think that was the Eastern Division. And in the Central, the Dragons right now, 70-49. The Vandals are in a good spot, 64-57. And they're 7-3 in their last 10 games. The Scorpions are also 7-3 in their last 10. And they're two games above 500 right now. They're kind of beginning to be fighting for playoff positioning here. And then the Raptors back up to 500, almost now, 60-62. And then the East is really close. So the Honey Badgers, it looks like they have kind of won the last couple of games. Barons have, they've lost 4 in a row. So they are, still 2.5 games back of that division. The Firebirds, a game above 500 right now. They're kind of struggling in their last 10, though. And then the Expos and the Wizards there at the bottom. But this is what the wildcard looks like. So right now, the Barons are in a good spot. They have pretty firm positioning on that first wildcard. And then the Vandals and the Reapers tied for the wildcard. And then you have the other teams they're down below them. And then the East, this division is really tight right now. The Rhinos sit a game and a half ahead of the Columbus Cardinals. The Stars are only 2 games back. The Crusaders are even still in this division. They're only 4.5 games back. And the Pilots 49-71. They might have the worst record in baseball right now. And the Monarchs, 71 wins. I believe that is the most. And I think they have the least losses, too. So they have the best record in baseball right now, 71-48. Sluggers, 6 games back in the division, but 11 games over 500. And then the West, the Sharks are in a good spot here. They are 8 games above 500 right now, 64-56. The Rattlers, 2.5 back. The Bees there, 8.5 back at 56-65. The Spiders only 2 games below 500. So the Sluggers and the Cardinals are in that wild card race, though. The Stars are only a half game back. The Rattlers 2 games back. Crusaders 3 games back. Millers 5, and the Bees 8. And the Spiders 4.5. Rattlers 2. So, see, and that's what I'm talking about with this. With the wild card is like the division, the winner of the National League East might be the only chance that you have to make the playoffs if you're in that division right now, because of where the wild card is right now. And so we're gonna look at league leaders. I don't think we've done this in a while here. Jacob Nottingham, by the way, for the Charlotte Pilots has been their best hitter this season. He has been really good for them actually all year. And Trey Mancini has been incredible for the Sharks this season. What a great job for them to be able to get him. Brian Reynolds, 314 average. Giancarlo Stanton batting over 300. Yeah, Nottingham with 296 is crazy. Dylan Colson, 295. Luis Arias there, 291. And then Cedric Mullins, Anthony Rendon, Acuna, Omar Narvaez, Aegis Aguilar. Chris Bryant, 284. That's a good average for him there. And leading the the AL average is Alex Bregman, batting 313. Freddie Freeman, so a couple of Reapers players there. And then, Rafael Devers is number 4. So the Reapers, I think it's, their offense is probably middle of the pack overall, but they have some really big hitters on that lineup that are doing really well. Manny Machado and Jose Ramirez, plus 11. to contact versus lefties this season. That is a really awesome increase there. Mike Moustakas, his season this year has been really good, really taken me by surprise a little bit. And then Wander Franco and Alejandro Kirk, another awesome season at the plate for him. I think he struggled in the beginning of the year, but his average is at 292 right now. Yandy Diaz, average over 290. Miles Straw, +8 to power versus lefties, +6 to contact versus lefties. He's destroying lefties this season. That average is at 290. And Michael Brantley, some decreases there for him and his stats, but he is doing really good as the leadoff hitter for the Dragons. And Alex Bregman, 143 hits. That's the most in the AL. And Val Conchero is also up here, and he's a younger guy for the Chinooks, only 26 years old, his second year in the majors this season. And he is tied for 5th there in terms of total hits. And, last year was a good year for him. Actually, below 700 OPS, but this season has been even better for him than last year was by good a margin there. And so Jay Mancini leading the National League in hits, and Fernando Tatis Jr. this season, but he's putting together right now is just insane. Still have, a month and a half left, almost 2 months full, and he's already at 34 home runs, already over 100 RBIs. So, yeah, he is really popping off right now, and he has just been incredible. And Akil Baddoo, he leads the league, the NL and at bats because he doesn't take a day off ever, but he's really not hitting very well. He only has a 617 OPS this season, so he's definitely struggling a little bit there at the top of the batting order for the Crusaders. And 33 doubles for Rhinos, 32 for Acuna, 31 for Turner there. Carlos Correa, 349 on base. These are better numbers than last year, I think, for him right now. 30 doubles is a lot so far this season. Javi Baez has hit a lot of doubles as well. And Pedro Leon, Wander Franco, and Amed Rosario, all those guys are leading the AL, or the AL in doubles with 33. Trevor Story with 30. Val Conchero has 30 doubles also. 9 triples for Kyle Lewis. So, you're seeing some hitters up here for the Chinooks. They have some decent star hitters on their team. It's just their pitching is not very good, and they're still kind of in rebuilding mode right now. So Fernando leads the league in home runs with 34. Brian Reynolds with 30. So Brian Reynolds, his power, he was pretty powerful. He got a decent amount of home runs last year, but his power this year pretty much off the charts. Gavin Sheets has been crushing lefties, +8 to increases there. Jorge Soler, I don't remember how many home runs he had when he was traded. I think he had like 24 or something like that. So he's had a couple since he was traded. Aaron Judge, though, leads the league in home runs, actually, with 35. That's ridiculous. +7 to power versus lefties. So, yeah, he's already matched his home run total from last year, which is insane. And then Joey Gallo is also here, number 2 in the AL in home runs with 33. So, first full year in LA there, he's doing really well. Rafi Devers with 32 right now. Hunter Renfroe is up here for the Scorpions with 30. Shohei, 29. And Shohei, this is, he has more home runs right now than he had all of last season. He had 28 last year. So he's been really producing offensively. His pitching hasn't been as good. It's still been very good. But his numbers hitting-wise are off the charts there. Salvador Perez with 28 home runs. So 95 ribbies for Aaron Judge is the most in the AL. Devers up there with 92. And Gallo with a 91. So those guys have more than 90 RBIs, which is crazy. And then Shohei up there as well. But Fernando leads the league, only guy to have over 100 ribbies right now in his season. Brian Reynolds at number 2. Brian Reynolds, he's going to be competing for an MVP. He's going to be in that conversation right now. He's hitting that well at the moment. He has just been fantastic. And then you get to see some of these other hitters here. Julio Rodriguez, he's been seeing some good increases right now. Alex Bregman, man, 88 runs scored is really good. And Whit Merrifield, 32 stolen bases. That's the most in baseball, I would think. Yeah, it's the most in baseball right now. And Starling Marte, 31 stolen bases. So Marte and Marte and Merrifield dominating that category there. On base, Alex Bregman with near 400 on base right now. And Harper 386. Anthony Rizzo really up there with on base at 381. That's an interesting player to be that high. And Brian Reynolds, though, over 400 on base percentage, the only hitter in baseball to have that high of an on base percentage right now. Kirk Casale with 380, and he was good last year for the Spiders. He's been very good this season for them as their catcher. And Chris Bryant 367. Slugging, I mean, some slugging percentage. So yeah, over 600. I think he is probably my MVP favorite right now if I would have to choose one player. And Rafael Devers, definitely in the MVP conversation in the AL right now. He leads the league in slugging percentage right now at the moment. Bryce Harper leads the AL in OPS with 960. And that makes sense. He's up here top 5 in all these other categories. And he has been, hitting really well. He's obviously the best player on that Wizards team. And one of the best in baseball, still true in real life. Austin Meadows with an over 900 OPS. But Brian Reynolds, only guy with an over 1 OPS right now, and is the OPS leader in baseball at the moment. And then you got Max Muncy over 900 OPS there. So let's look at the hitting here from a glance. But Max Scherzer, 30 years old, and this season for him so far has been unbelievable. 2.33 ERA. He is seriously, you saw the ticker. He's in the Cy Young conversation, and man, it makes sense why. He has been unreal this season. He's on a really good hot streak right now. 39 runs in his starts that he's allowed. That's it. Patrick Corbin has been awesome this season as well. Jose Urquidy, 2.25 ERA. I believe that is the lowest in baseball right now. Does he have the strikeouts to win the Cy Young Award? That's kind of the only question for me, is the ERA is ridiculously low, but he doesn't get a lot of strikeouts, and so that might kind of hold him back from that award. Although for me, strikeouts don't if there's guys that have higher ERA or lower ERA with more strikeouts, I'm going to lean towards giving it to them. But Brandon Woodruff, below 2 ERA is insane, and he does have the strikeouts, 159. So those two guys, Brandon Woodruff and Jared Eichhoff, they're fighting for the Cy Young. They're really the only two guys that I'm going to right now consider for the Cy Young. They are just doing so well. And Eduardo Venezuela, he's a guy for Rookie of the Year that we're going to have to consider him. He's doing really well this season. The ERA below 3 right there, I believe. And Mike Fultonevich, he's been good. 11 wins for him on the season, and I think he's been good since being traded. And the losses, don't look at this too much, but Carlos Rondon, 2.65 ERA. He's been really good. And David Bednar still with Josh Hader right there. Those two guys, 39 saves on their seasons, and David Bednar won young reliever, one reliever of the year last year, and he is doing well enough to put himself in that conversation to win it again. And Giovanni Gallegos at 33 on a pretty bad batch. And Nucks team is impressive there. Matt Barnes with 32. And Andrew Kittredge, the other guy with over 30. Here in the AL, Ryan Presley, that was a good signing for the Reapers there in the offseason. Clay Holmes leading the National League in saves and leading all of baseball in saves right now. Kind of came out of nowhere for me. Only had C potential going into the year. Was only a 78, 77 overall guy. Had never really been a closer in his career. And had a 1.5 whip last season. So his numbers last year weren't all that incredible. But 8 runs across 43.1 innings, 41 saves. This season he's just dominant and up there for reliever of the year conversation on a Rhinos team that is playing really well, and he's part of that kind of resurgence for them, I think, this year, turning them into a contender. Emmanuel Clase, this guy is ridiculous, 2.38 ERA for him this season. But yeah, there's a look at the ERA numbers, and so Jose Urquidy leading the National League in ERA with a 2.25 ERA, and that's even with him being on a cold streak right now. So yeah, and Walker Buehler, his teammate, is also definitely in contention for reliever or for Cy Young. So yeah, I mean there are some guys. Frankie Montas actually 2.69 ERA for him is really good there. Noah Syndergaard, 2.55 ERA for him. This season has been great. Yu Darvish has been really good for the Sluggers. And there's Wade Miley, really good for the Rattlers. And Hunter Green showed him in that quick manage situation. He's been going really well. He's been getting a lot of great increases. But, Jared Eichhoff, 2.51 ERA, 16 wins. Like, those are awesome numbers. But I do think I would give the edge to Brandon Woodruff in terms of the Cy Young voting right now. But Aaron Savali, man, 2.31 ERA for the Scorpions. I don't know if we've highlighted him in a start yet this season, but gosh, he has been awesome this year. Jose Barrios, 2.71 ERA. Miles Michaelis is on fire. We saw him have a really good start in his first one with the Firebirds. Taijuan Walker's ERA is still really good. Madison Bumgarner has been awesome. Clem Means has been great. And 10 home runs allowed by Savoli this season, so really low numbers there with that. Nick Pivetta, 9. Jacob deGrom, 4 shutouts as well for Sandy Alcantara. And Shane Bieber leading the NL in strikeouts, 177 in 161 innings. That is crazy there, so he has been just awesome with those strikeout numbers, and he leads the league in that department. Jacob deGrom, 176. And, 2.8 ERA, really good. Fantastic numbers. Garrett Cole has an over 4 ERA, but has a lot of strikeouts, of course. And 6 complete games for deGrom is a ton. That's a lot there. Brandon Woodruff leading in innings pitched, 167 this year. Barrios number 2 in that category. But deGrom leading all of baseball with 173.2 innings pitched. That is crazy there. Yusei Kikuchi, for some reason, has a ton of innings pitched as well this season, even though he has over 6 ERA, so I don't know why that is exactly. But John Means only 23 walks allowed. He is just so good at limiting base runners. But Walker Buehler and Chris Bassett, those two guys below 1 whip, and Chris Bassett had a below 1 whip last year too. But John Means, he is just the whip master, dude. He is just under 1 whip last year, I think, or really right around a 1 whip last year, and 0.93 leads the league. He just does not allow base runners. He doesn't walk anybody. So really cool to see him still do very well. And then Brandon Woodruff, 4.2 pitching WAR. That leads baseball. Jacob deGrom with 4.0, as well as Walker Buehler and Max Scherzer also 4.0 on the pitching WAR department. And Brian Reynolds right now leads WAR by quite a bit, actually, by a full point, 7.2, and that's all of baseball there. Jose Ramirez with a 6 WAR leads the American League, and then Kyle Tucker there also 4.9. So there's a look at league leaders for you here. It's been a while since we've shown you that, but wanted to show you that here as we are now on August 15th here, and this is a monster series between two teams that are competing for this division. And right now, 65 and 55 for the Rhinos, trying to get to the playoffs for the first time in their team's history. And Nashville made it to the World Series last year, trying to get back to the playoffs. And this is the final and the last game that just happened between these two, the Richmond Rhinos getting a 2-0 win here. And, Richmond, this team is just unbelievable with their pitching. They have the best pitching staff in baseball. It's not even really a question there. But this offense is, it's below average, and it's going to be, we'll see the team rankings later on in this episode, but it is a lineup that is just not, it doesn't have a lot of superstar power on it, really. It doesn't have a lot of guys with high averages there. Nick Ahmed had a home run in this box score, but, Suarez for Nashville, really good, 6 innings for him, only allowed 1 run, but he gets the loss in this game. And Zach Davies, the number 5 pitcher for this team, has a 4.13 ERA, and he just pitched 8 shutout innings for them. And so this is what this division looks like one more time. The Rhinos 65 and 55. The Cardinals a game and a half back. The Stars 2 games back. And so, one of those 3 teams is going to make it, going to win this division. But, is anybody else going to make the playoffs from that team? I don't know. And looking at just the rankings there, first in batting average, and you can pause this if you want to look at it more carefully, but first in batting average is the Columbus Cardinals, first in home runs, and on base percentage is the it is the New York Honey Badgers, but ERA is really the number we want to look at there. First there, and tied actually with the Barons. The Barons pitching staff has been also very good this season, but yeah, 3.17 team ERA. And then the Nashville Stars, 3.53 as a team is really impressive. It's, not really close to where the Rhinos or the Barons are, but they're also very good with that department. But the hitting is not very good for them. 29th in batting average, 29th in slugging percentage. The Stars are 26th in slugging percentage, so they're not very good in that department either. But yeah, they're 28th in runs batted in, 26th for Nashville there, so their offense has not nearly been, this is about the best offensive team Nashville was in the National League last year, one of the best in baseball. Home runs, Columbus Cardinals are dead last there. And, Rhinos 27th, so not very high for them either. In that department, hits, they're 27th, where Nashville is, and they're 30th in hits, so the least amount of hits in the league. Only one guy has over 100 for them on the season, 930 total. And the Monarchs, they're also 29th, and batting average, they're 26th. So some of these teams that are, top in the league, and some of those teams that are high up they have some weaknesses. And for Nashville and for Richmond, it is definitely their offense. And the batting average is a problem for Kansas City as well for them this season. But this team's pitching is so strong. They're second in the least amount of walks allowed there. First is actually LA. But their pitching is so dominant that has been able to kind of make up for shortcomings on their offensive side of the ball here. But and the thing is, with the postseason, it's actually, you'd rather have a super elite pitching staff, I think, than, an offense that's really, really good, but you don't have as good as pitching. I think most of the time pitching beats, really good pitching beats really good offense in the postseason. So, yeah, it's an issue right now, and it might prevent them from, winning this division. We'll see. They're first right now in this division. But I don't know if it's going to be like a huge deal when they get to the playoffs, but they got to get there first. And Walker Buehler looking to strengthen his Cy Young case right now with this start, a 2.35 ERA for him. So he's just been fantastic. And Jorge Polanco, a 266 batting average for him this season. I think this has been a good acquisition. Nashville has really actually needed Jorge Polanco this year with their offensive struggles and not having Mike Trout on this lineup all year, basically. He played like the first month or month and a half or so. And so that was a needed move for them to get Polanco, because he has been a good hitter for them. And Brady House is up here. Polanco trying to steal second base, and he is thrown out pretty much immediately there. That's not really a close play, so Polanco not able to steal there, and didn't really get a good jump on that pitch right there either, in a good throw by Luis Camposano. And Brady House right now is the batter for Nashville, and he has a 302 batting average right now this season, as that is a ball caught at second base. He's been very good for Nashville. He's been up for about a month or so, I think, or maybe less, a little bit less than that, but yeah, right about a 300 average. And they're 12th in the NL in total runs is Nashville. But, yeah, Paul Goldschmidt, 275. Those are good averages there. Kyle Schwarber and J.D. Davis, 251. But, Francisco Lindor has not been, he's been okay, but he's not been getting on base that much. 233 batting average for him is definitely low. So, Paul Goldschmidt has been the best hitter on this lineup, since the Mike Trout injury. He's trying to do a lot of carrying for this team, but he's just one guy. He can't carry the offense, all by himself. But on the mound in this game is Noah Syndergaard. 23 starts for him this year. He's been awesome for Nashville. A 2.55 ERA and 122 strikeouts for him. So he's been great, and Nick Ahmed is up now to begin this game in the bottom of the first. And Nick Ahmed hasn't been all that great this season, honestly. He's OPS below 700. But yeah, Nashville is out of the wildcard race right now, even. So a big win here. They gotta hope to win this series, I think. this is a big series between these two. I think they will play one more time in September, and so we'll definitely focus on that series. If it is a big series, it probably will be. But yeah, this is a big game, big 4-game series between these two. I believe it is a 4-game series. Ibrahim Toro is up here, 257, average, 13 home runs, 55 RBIs for him. That OPS is in a good spot, so I think he's been a good hitter for the Rhinos this year, one of their better offensive players there.
Batting third.
But that is a swing and a miss, and Syndergaard gets a big strikeout to get the first out of this inning. I believe that was the first out of the inning, and it was. So 1 man out for Jorge Soler, who's going to swing and miss at a sinker, and I like Syndergaard in his location with his off-speed right now. As Jorge Soler, 8th in the NL in RBIs, one of those guys that's, you know, almost 30 home runs this season, as that is a swing and a miss. That fastball hit triple digits, and Syndergaard blows it right by him.
Batting fourth.
So Syndergaard a couple of Ks here in his first couple of batters, and yeah, misses the slider right down the middle, and then cannot catch up to the gas there with the fastball right down the middle. So Cody Bellinger at the plate here, and he is going to take a look at strike 3. Perfect pitch on the corner, and Noah Syndergaard with a 3-strikeout first inning there. Strikes out the side in the first. So this Francisco Lindor, 731 OPS, you know, 20 home runs, 44 RBIs. His power hasn't been bad this season, but, you know, last year was way better for him offensively. Getting on base a lot more last year, and his power is, I think, even better than it has been this season. So he's been one of those guys that has just kind of had a down year compared to last year. You know, I don't think Kyle Schwarber has been as good either. Josh Naylor, he's only a 666 OPS. I don't know. He's still pretty young, but Richmond might want to go and try to find somebody else next year in that position. He just has not really shown a lot of improvement from last year to this season, and he's kind of getting, you know, he's 27, 28 years old right now, but, you know, we'll see. I think this team can make a lot of improvements for their offense next season, as they have the keys, they have that pitching staff to develop a really good team, and they have some prospects as well in their farm system. So an interesting team here. But here's Luis Campusano, and he's going to line that one to second base, and Lindor was there to make the catch. So that'll end the inning. Richmond a couple of hits here, but no runs so far. As we go to the top of the third, Walker Buehler has been, dominant so far, and he is locating really well. The first 2 innings have gone his way. Manny Pena is up here, only batting 209 right now this season, as that is a slider. Just filthy off-speed right there, and Buehler really strong. First few innings for him tonight. You're just not hitting that pitch at all. So now we go bottom 3, and Nick Ahmed is back up here, top of the order, as that's a fly ball. That one's deep in the left, and Schwarber is at the wall, and that ball is gone. Home run for Nick Ahmed, and he had a home run in the win yesterday for the Richmond Rhinos. He gets one here, his 8th of the season, and he will start the scoring for the Rhinos in this game. They take the lead here 1-0 in the 3rd inning. 164 feet for Ahmed. Not a lot of power for him this year, but that's a couple of home runs in this series, as that's another strikeout for Jorge Soler. 2nd of the game for him to this point. 4th of the night for Syndergaard. And now he's got Bellinger with 2 strikes. That's a fly ball, but into right field, and that one is easy for, I believe, Willie Carter is playing in right today for the Stars, and that'll end the 3rd inning. But another hit for the Rhinos, and that's a big one. Home run by Nick Ahmed, and the Rhinos will take the lead. And obviously you want to score more than 1 run, but the way that Walker Buehler is pitching, that run, it might go a long way. That was a hittable pitch by Brady House there, and outside corner, but still belt high. But right now, this team is just not hitting anything that Walker Buehler is throwing right now. He's just got this team on skates really early on that swing right there. That's a fly ball. into foul territory. Can Ahmed or Duvall get there? That is a catch near the wall for the out. I believe that's either Duvall or Ahmed there in the outfield and left for this team. But that is the 4th inning. Another 1-2-3 frame. And that changeup was a ball, apparently. I don't really know how, but okay. And then he throws it right back to that same spot. And this time, a swing and a miss. Great sinker there. Really good location. No, Syndergaard, man, he has just been locked down in this start with only one mistake so far tonight. Jose Miranda up. And there's a ground ball to second base. We're going quickly in this game. Another 1-2-3 inning. And another 0. So on to the top of the 5th, J.D. Davis. He is going to swing and miss. Slider outside, way early on it. Buehler has got his 4th of the game. And Walker Buehler, man, he is just fantastic. I mean, look at those pitches. Those pitches are awesome. All on the corner, all outside of the zone. He is really getting into a groove now, as that was a perfectly placed slider there right on the corner. Fouled that pitch off. And he's pitching like a Cy Young Award winner right now. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss! Cutter. Lindor late on it. 2 more strikeouts in that inning. And so far, halfway home in this game, Walker Buehler looking dominant. And we have a good pitcher's duel right now in this one. We go bottom 5. Luis Campusano at the plate, and he's going to get hit here by a pitch that runs a little too far inside by Syndergaard. So, first kind of pitch that we've seen that Syndergaard has really lost control of in this game so far, as Adam Duvall is at the plate, and he's going to line that one into the outfield, and then it's going to land in right field for a hit. So, first hit that we've seen in a few innings, and Adam Duvall gets, I think, the 5th hit of the game for the Rhinos tonight. Now Abraham Tar at the plate. Fly ball, that's into center, pretty deep. But the center fielder is there. That's a catch. Is that Max Kepler out there in center? That might be Max Kepler. He might also be in left. I'm not sure. Yep, that is Max Kepler in center field. As that'll be 2 down now with 2 men on. Jorge Soler 0 for 2 in the game. But a big opportunity right here to do something, as that sinker does catch the corner of the strike zone. Jorge Soler doesn't really think so, but I think that was a strike. He's pitching well enough. You give the corner pitches to him there. And that's a ground ball, line drive actually, and it's speared by J.D. Davis at third. That was a really good play actually by Davis, preventing a base hit and preventing probably a run from scoring, although that was hit hard enough that they might not have brought the runner home. But a good play at third base keeps it 1-0. So we go to the 6th inning, and Max Kepler, you know, the average is 222, 702 OPS, 17 home runs. You know, he's not had an amazing season. He's not had an awful year either. As that is a swing and a miss. Jeez, dude, that slider, just what a perfect pitch on the corner. 6K for Buehler in this game. He's got a lot more of them here in the last few innings. And, yeah, out in front of that pitch just a little bit. So now Willie Carter, 0 for 1 in the game, and he's going to take a slider there down below the knees. And full count here. Has Walker Buehler even allowed a base runner in this game? I don't think he has. 3-2 count. That ball is outside, and that's ball 4. I'm pretty sure he had a perfect game up until that point. That's the first base runner that Nashville has gotten all day. So, unfortunately, no perfect game here for Walker Buehler, but nope. 3-2 pitches. That's a swing and a miss. Cutter for a strike. He does have one other thing going that would be really impressive there. I'm not going to say it. As 2 outs in this inning, and now we go back up to the top of the order. Actually, Jorge Polanco walked in his first at-bat, so never mind. Second base runner of the game for Nashville. That's a swing and a drive by Polanco into right field, and it's gone! No-hitter, broken. Shutout broken up by Polanco. 16th home run for him this year. And Nashville will get on the board here in the 6th inning and take a 2-1 lead. Man, Polanco, what a great addition. I mean, how huge has he been for a team that has really struggled with the offense this season, he has been a great addition to this lineup here, and he just bombed that one into right field. 406 feet, and up the few rows there in right. So a huge swing, 2-1 lead for Nashville, as Brady House is up right now. 23 pitches for Walker Buehler here. This has been his longest inning of the night, and he's got 94 pitches now. That is a slider high and in the zone for a strikeout. So, man, only one mistake pitch, really. I mean, that was a low pitch, so not a crazy down the middle pitch, but first hit of the game, a big one for the Nashville Stars, as they will take a 2-1 lead at bottom of the 6th inning coming up. Here's Cody Bellinger. 0 for 2 on the game for him. Syndergaard still going strong in this one here in the bottom of the 6th. And Bellinger third on the team with his 16 home runs. As a 2-2 here too. Bellinger is that. It's a swing and a drive by Bellinger into right field. And it is gone! Billy bomb to tie the game for the Rhinos. And they show that home run graphic just to get us warmed up for predictive measurement there. 17th of the year for him this season. And we are tied at 2 apiece. Big time swing right there. And I think he's second on, the team as it was originally constructed going into the year. Andrew Duvall has more this season. So he has the most home runs in terms of team that started on this roster this year, but 480 feet on that one. And a tie game, as that's a line drive, and it's caught by Goldschmidt at first base. But Cody Bellinger, huge hit, 6 of the game for Richmond, and some runs here in this game. A lot of runs compared to what we were seeing earlier, but now a 2-2 tie. Really good game here so far, and a great pitcher's duel between these two. And Walker Buehler is still out there here for the top of the 7th inning, nearing 100 pitches. That is a swing and a miss. I mean, Goldschmidt just not a chance with that fastball here. And Walker Buehler, man, again, one mistake pitch here, one hit off of him. And that's a swing and a miss. That slider was nasty there. And Goldschmidt, no chance. One more look here, and late on that pitch, I think. As actually, he wasn't awful timing on that swing. It was just such a good pitch that he just did not have a chance there. And now that's a swing and a miss. Four-seam fastball, 994, way up there in the top of the zone. Back-to-back strikeouts here for Walker Buehler in this 7th inning, and that's a line drive caught at first base to end the 7th. But, wow, 9 strikeouts for Walker Buehler, 7 one-hit innings. What a start for him in this one. So Noah Miro is going to come out of the bullpen here, 34.2 innings this year, 2.86 ERA. Good averages against. He's been good for this team out of the bullpen. What a start by Syndergaard, by the way, 6 innings, 2 runs off of 6 hits. He was awesome in this start. And now Luis Campusano leading off the inning. And he's got 3 balls on him here. And Duvall with 22 home runs, 217 batting average sitting on deck. And that 3-1 does just barely catch the bottom of the zone. Great pitch there. And that 3-2, though, is inside, and it is ball 4. So Campusano on base again. He got hit by a pitch earlier. Now he walks, and now it'll bring up Adam Duvall. Single back in the 5th inning in this game for him. Base runner here in the bottom of the 7th. First pitch to him in this at-bat. It's a swing and a drive! Deep to left center field. Duvall knew it right away. That ball is gone. 2-run homer from Adam Duvall. And that was a bomb. 462 on the distance. Longest homer of the night. And the Rhinos take a 4-2 lead. Some show vision action for you here on this swing. That was a drive. My goodness. Long home run. Almost, over halfway up the seats there in left field. 5, almost 6 seconds of hang time. 113 off the bat. That ball is absolutely crushed. And the Rhinos have a lead here, 4-2 now. So Nick Ahmed here back up to the top of the order. Now Ahmed is going to drive this one into the outfield here. And there is Schwarber at the wall. And that ball is gone. Nick Ahmed with the home run. As it's his second of the game. And the Rhinos will go up 3 here in the 7th inning. 5-2 now, Richmond. Duvall and Ahmed go back-to-back. 3rd home run in the last 2 games for Nick Ahmed. And, wow, 374 on that one. So, big-time rally here, and a few long home runs here as Gregory Soto going to come out of the bullpen for Nashville. So, a bad outing there by Noah Ramirez. And Gregory Soto has been good so far in his, 10 innings of work this season since being called up from AAA at the All-Star break kind of period there. He's going to get a strikeout here of, that was Toro there. Really good sinker actually on that pitch there with a 5-inch break. So now it's Jorge Soler, 3-1 to him, and he's going to take a sinker for ball 4. He gets on for the first time today in this ball game, and now it's Bellinger. Big solo home run earlier in the game, and now that's another sinker that misses for ball 4. So back-to-back one-out walks here, and this inning is still not over, obviously. 2 down, runners on second and third for Aledmus Diaz, who has not been awesome this season. They're going to actually intentionally walk him here. So I guess that puts a force in any base. I mean, I wouldn't have had a problem with pitching to that batter right there. But Jose Miranda, 3 for 7 in this series, 1 for 3 in this game. He's been all right this year. That's a swing and a drive, though, into deep left field. And Miranda crushes this one out of here. It's a grand slam for Jose Miranda. Probably his first of his career, I would think. 7th home run this season for him. And this inning has gone from really bad to really, really bad for Nashville. It's a 9-2 lead all of a sudden for the Richmond Rhinos. So how about a monster inning right now for the Rhinos in this game? I mean, that was a blast by Miranda, and the 3rd pitcher of the inning for the Stars will come on out here, and it's Jordan Holloway, who has a good ERA, 3.05 ERA for him, but a 9-run inning, 2-run home run by Adam Duvall in the quick manage. Are you kidding me? Wow, it was a 2-2 game going into the bottom of the 7th inning, and it's 11-2 now. Okay, that's ridiculous. Bruce Delgado is going to come out of the bullpen here. That's a home run. Max Kepler launching a bomb. So, I mean, kind of too little too late here at this point now. But we're in the top of the 9th. And here's Paul Goldschmidt. Bruce still pitching. That's a fly ball. And that one is going to get down. Trying to dive after it is the left fielder. It's going to land in the outfield. That should score 1 run. But going on third is the other base runner here. And he's going to be thrown out. I believe that was Brady House trying to score. It was, and I don't know. I mean, I guess they were trying to wait and see if it landed there, and they were almost coming into the home plate at the same time. That was kind of silly looking there, but that is the second out of this 9th inning. So a couple of late runs here by the Stars, and yeah, that was kind of crazy. I've never seen a base runners that close before, coming in at the same time almost. As J.D. Davis, that was a, swing right there on a pitch way inside, and it gets right back to the pitcher. And that is going to be the end of the game, and Richmond just wins this one crazy. What a crazy game here. A game that, you couldn't tell by the final score, but a really close game for a long time, a pitcher's duel until the 7th inning. And a 9-run inning by the Richmond Rhinos. That just an explosion of offense for them in that inning. They had, 3 home runs in that frame, I think, including 2 by Adam Duvall in the same inning. So that's pretty ridiculous there. And a grand slam. No, yeah, 3 home runs because they had a solo home run, or no, they had a 2-run home run by Duvall, grand slam by Miranda. They also had a solo home run by Nick Ahmed in that inning too. So 4 home runs in the 7th for the Rhinos. That's one of the craziest innings that I've seen in this game. And it's a big win for Richmond. They're now 11 games above 500, and they go up a full game on Richmond, or on Nashville here. So that's a big loss for Nashville. They fall behind here, and they have lost the first 2 games of this series with the Rhinos. And their offense here was pretty shut down effectively all night. I mean, Blanco had the big hit, that 2-run home run, but, you know, House Goldschmidt had a hit, and Goldschmidt had an RBI. Kepler had a home run, but not a lot of offense in this one for the Stars. Blanco with his 16th home run. Kepler has 18 home runs. Syndergaard, really good start for him. This one, I'd say, 6 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, 5 strikeouts, 2.57 ERA. But the bullpen was really bad in this one for Nashville. Ramirez couldn't even get an out. He gave up 3 runs. Soto gave up 4 runs in 0.2 innings. Holloway gave up 2 more runs. So the bullpen was just pretty terrible, and this one could not really do anything effectively. And that is a bad look for that bullpen there. Those ERAs really ballooning for everybody there for Nashville. And then for Richmond, a lot of offense there late in this one for them. Nick Ahmed, 2 home runs and 3 again in the last couple of games for him. Miranda, Jose Miranda, I kind of mentioned that he's not really been great this season. He only batted .227 right now, only has 7 home runs, so his power hasn't really been there this year. 45 RBIs on the season. Duvall, not getting on base a lot, but does have 24 homers and 60 RBIs. I think that might be tops on the team. And I think, from guys that are starting this season, like Soler has 67, but he wasn't on the team at the start of the year. But, not a lot of high averages. Again, I mean, 248 is their highest average right now for a guy that is, was starting the whole year. But Walker Buehler strengthening his Cy Young case, I think, with this start. 7.1 innings, 1 hit all game, 3 walks, 2 earned runs, and 10 strikeouts in this one. So he was just fantastic. And Brewstar gave up a couple of runs, 3 hits, 1.2 innings for him. That ERA is not at a great spot, 4.4. And honestly, they got him in a trade last year, and that trade, they have not seen him live up to the potential that he has. But we're going to hop into another game here in this series, and this is the next game that we're seeing here. Nashville in only 5 games above 500 right now, and they are losing this one here in a critical situation. Clay Holmes has a base runner on, and Nashville does, but Clay Holmes trying to get another save right now, as trying to steal second base, and getting thrown out again is Polanco. I believe that is Polanco once more, trying to steal second. That was a closer play here. I kind of thought he was safe initially, but yeah, he does just barely get him there. And that is a big, I don't know, I mean, I get trying to get him in scoring position, but that is a big loss. And now, I mean, he would have been in scoring position again already because they just walked him. Jose Brios, another awesome start, 8 more innings, and only allowed 2 hits. Okay, that's crazy. But man on, winning run is on base. There's a ground ball, though, to second base, and they're going to go the short way and get the out, and that will end the ball game. So the Rhinos will win another one here in the quick managed situation, and they get another game off of Nashville here in this series, who continues to kind of miss out on opportunities to, get some, catch up a little bit in this division race. And big win for the Rhinos. They are taking more control over this division race right now. And 9 hits, 4 runs for Nashville, a couple of hits and an RBI for Espinal, another RBI for Polanco, who is up to 66 now on the season. Goldschmidt, 1 hit for him in this one. Trumer was 0 for 5. And, Harris, 255 average for him this season. He's been okay for Nashville this year. But Espinal was with some RBIs there as well there for this team. Marco Gonzalez, the year he had 4.38, 7 innings, or 5 innings for him, 7 hits, 3 runs allowed in this game. And then for Richmond, some guys, it looks like a lot of guys coming off the bench for them in this game. But a home run for Evan Longoria in this one. And another home run for Nick Ahmed. So, wow, okay, he's just turning on the power right now. He's only up to 10 home runs now, but that's 4 home runs for him in the last 3 games. So, okay, that is kind of impressive there. He's on a hot streak right now. Lucas Giolito, really good start for him as well. And this one, his 13th win of the season, 6.2 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, 12 strikeouts, a 2.8 ERA there. And Hicks got the last out of the 8th inning, or the 7th inning, looks like. And then the rest of the bullpen there, I believe 42nd save for Clay Holmes. And as we go on to kind of managing or quick saving here, big injury updates. That is Anthony Rizzo getting hurt for the Vancouver Vandals, and it looks like he might be done for the whole season. And luckily here, Nashville desperate for a win in this series, and they do get it here. And I think this is the last game of this series between these two teams. But Nashville absolutely needed to win this one, and they do here. So 64-59, Richmond, 11 games above 500, a 9-6 win. A home run by Buddy House there. That's good to see. And 4 RBIs for him in this game. Home run in this one for Richmond by Cody Bellinger. Miranda had an RBI. Campusano had a ribby as well. And a good start by Antonio Senzatella. Gets the win for 6 innings in this one. 9 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. Jordan Holloway, another run allowed in 2 innings. And Gregory Soto, another really not good start for him. Does not get it out there. He allows 3 more runs. So, yeah, he's in a rough patch right now. But Trevor May, 30th save of the year. Jose Urquidy, one of his worst starts of the year. 6 runs. Doesn't even get out of the first inning in that start. So, yikes. I mean, you're going to have bad starts like that, even if the best pitchers do. So, looking at the lineup here for this Vandals team with no Anthony Rizzo for them right now, what we're gonna do is have Charlie Blackmon play as a DH, and Brandon Belt will take over as this team's full-time first baseman in the field. But that is a big injury because we just saw the numbers for Rizzo this year. He had a 380 on base this season, so one of the better hitters now done for the year. And now Max Scherzer, this is another big injury, dislocated shoulder, and he's done for the season. It looks like 2 to 3 months, and that will actually, that's really big. That's a big blow. The Arrows probably not going to be in the playoffs this year. They're not out of it completely yet, but they're below 500 team. But that nixes his season entirely. And again, we just looked at his stats. Max Scherzer was competing for the Cy Young. I don't think he's going to win it anymore. And then the Barons get a bad injury update here. So Amador Rizzo dislocates his ankle, and he's done for the whole season now. And he's also going to be done for any of the playoffs that team goes into. So that's a big season-ending injury there. Chris Bubik is going to have to be promoted here for the Arrows back to the Major League team after the Max Scherzer injury. And he was in AAA for a while after really struggling in the majors this season. And I think he was doing pretty good in AAA. He was doing all right there. So, yeah, but, Chris Bubik had an over 6 ERA in the majors in 47 innings. So, yeah, he was not performing that well. And he really hasn't developed that much this season either, unfortunately. But, they've had some injury issues there. Didi Gregorius is still hurt, and he's been hurt for quite a while, turned calf there. But Max Scherzer, this is a pretty brutal injury there, as his Cy Young campaign will be over, it looks like. And, -8. He's getting tanked in overall, but he is 38 years old, so it makes sense kind of why they're doing that to him. But, yeah, we saw his numbers earlier. He made a couple of starts since we showed you his stats. And, the ERA did climb, actually, to 2.67, so it looked like his last couple of starts weren't that great for him. But still really good numbers there. 155 strikeouts, so he's still getting a lot of strikeouts even at 38 years old. 2.67 ERA, 1.15 WHIP, and a 14-9 record. And with Max Scherzer, he's coming down to the end of his career. I think he's still got probably a couple more years left in the tank. But that is a bad injury, and you never know how much an injury like this at Max Scherzer's age is going to really affect them. I know, like, in this game, it probably doesn't have as big of an effect, but for a 38-year-old guy to get injured like that in real life is definitely a concern whether he's going to even be able to come back and be as strong as he was before. But Darren Ruff here, 14 home runs, 46 RBIs. He's on a hot streak right now, and he will be put back into the batting order after this Amed Rosario injury, and he will be playing first base going forward for this team as Darren Ruff will be back in the lineup. Yeah, and so we had Dustin Harris as a DH for this team, and he will stay in that role. But Darren Ruff back up in the lineup there. And Amed Rosario, yeah, this is a bad injury for him here, and this is really unfortunate. Just, he won't be able to be in the playoffs for this team now, and his season is over here. And this season was a lot better than last year in a lot of ways. The average is a lot higher. The on base definitely in a lot better spot, and 130 total hits, 34 doubles. So that's a big injury there, and that's a pretty important part of this team's batting order there. So, we'll see what happens going forward the rest of the year. I think that this team is still in a good spot, and still going to be probably a playoff team, and still has a chance to win that division, but that is an injury that will affect them going forward this year. So, that is going to be the end of the episode here for me, guys, and thank you for watching. This one has, some critical situations, a game, and a big series between two competing teams right now, and then some injury updates, and that'll be the episode for us. So, next time, as we're nearing September call-ups, as you can see here, 5 days away. So next episode will be September call-ups, and we will have some debuts for you in the next episode. But thank you guys so much for watching and subscribe to this channel. If you want to see more from me, and you want to be notified of when new videos come out on this channel, and I will see everybody in the next one. Have a great day, everybody, and hope you had a great weekend and a great week so far, and I'll see you next time. All right, God bless.